Our coverage of the NFL brings us to the southern end of the Tar Heel State and to this beautiful venue, Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we have an NFC fighting storm between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. Fitzgerald all set to get this one started. And we're off and running from Charlotte. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. And he's brought down quickly right inside his own 10.
Well, that's the case of either overthinking things or somehow not thinking enough on that kickoff return. You got to think the 20-yard line is worst case. Instead, the coverage team sticks it with a really long field ahead.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Now the first run of the game for Javonte Williams. And how is that for some breathing room, huh, Brock? Gets him away from the goal line up to the 20. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's good for a Dallas first down.
Kate, if that first play is any indicator, this offense is going to have one heck of a field day. I'm talking a big chunk of yards on the ground and some big-time confidence, too.
Going to the ground again on first. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
That is just a good, solid win right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
On second down, a run with Williams. No luck there. Ran that one right into traffic and went nowhere as a result. It's going to be 3rd down.
You want to see the term read and react to the little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Air it out on 3rd. That's Ferguson. He brings it in. And he's going to be touchdown as he gets him enough to pick up the first down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. And man, did he make an impact play.
Flushed out of the pocket. Into the hands of Pickett. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys drive the length of the field and take a 6-0 lead. George Pickens the touchdown. Aubrey good on the point after. And the Cowboys will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Jimmy Horn here on the return. This makes it up to the 25. Panthers look just about ready. 1st and 10.
Ready.
Young on the play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Offense in the hurry up here.
It's a loss of 8. It's at 2nd and 18 at the 17-yard line.
Now it's Young. Throws there for Jatavion Sanders. After making a catch, he is decked quickly at the 38.
It's
A new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10.
Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
On the ground, Chuba Hubbard gets it. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Looking to throw, Young. Pass brought in by Tyrell McMillan. Ooh, and he is cracked at the tail end of that play. A good hit, but sure would have loved for it to have come earlier as he gets forward a bunch and gets him the first down. Give him 24 yards on that one. And that's good for a Panthers first. So fresh set of downs now from the 39.
Check view. Set hunt. 60 red. Set.
Counterplay, Hubbard. Will cobble together a yard there. Jalen Thompson, the man on the tackle.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Back to throw. Here's Young. Brought in right side by McMillan. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first. Quite the opening drive they've put together, partner. New set of downs all the way down to the 25.
Yellow. Hut, hut.
First and 10. It's Hubbard. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to, and keep them from piling on those yards.
First and goal, Hubbard. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
That sure looks like a terrific call after you dial it up, because the execution was awesome by everybody. You get that kind of run on first and goal, it sets the table for more success.
Black swap. Blue 32.
Hubbard. How about this? He can't even get past the line of scrimmage. No challenge for the end zone here. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Young on third and goal. That's much too high and out of the end zone. Incomplete. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series. He's the one driving it. I think we're all a little surprised he was able to convert that try. It looked like they were not going to be able to get the ball down with that inaccurate snap. I don't talk about poise a lot of times for a kicker, but he just showed it and paid dividends.
Turpin with a return. And he gets it up beyond the 20, but boy, did they plant him a few inches into the ground at the end of that run. Cowboys just about set. Here comes first and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And he powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on that carry. Bringing up 2nd and 5. So while they're in the huddle, partner, we've arrived at the end of our first quarter. It's the Cowboys out in front. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Bank of America Stadium after this. Second quarter all set to begin, and it'll be Cowboys football. They have 2nd down and 5. Buying some time right. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Trevin Wallace has it. And the Panthers have it as he records the first interception of his young career.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
First down from the 42.
Let's go. 52 blue. Ready.
Out of the shotgun and give to Hubbard. And he's going to take this down to the 31 before he gets taken down. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
Play action now, Young. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Bringing the offense up to the line, 1st and 10.
Set, hut.
Working inside the red zone. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
At the 18-yard line.
Set, ready. Black, 95. Hut.
Out of the gun, Young. That's caught by Hubbard. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Hut.
3rd and long for him here. He takes it in. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. This is Ryan Fitzgerald on to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Panthers push their lead to 3. Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. Turpin with a return. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort. Dallas getting everybody set. They've got 1st and 10.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's Williams to start the drive. Has a hole left, room to run. The 40. Hits the 20. There it is. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys take the lead on the first play of the drive. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. Extra point from Aubrey is up and good. And the Cowboys take a 4-point lead.
14. Panthers 10. Brandon Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. Baker with the return. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 30.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10. And they're on the 31-yard line.
New set of downs for him from the 31.
Here we go. Red, cycle. 33, yellow. Set, hut.
And going play action. Young. Bails out of the pocket quick. Working the sideline. Oh, he got it. Drug the feet. That's a catch.
Timing on routes change when you leave the pocket. It really does become, well, the schoolyard. And you got to scramble around. What a great adjustment to still deliver a clean ball.
2nd and 6 coming up here.
Down. 10 black. Set.
From the pistol, it's Young. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Ready?
No connection on the last play. Now it's third down.
Ready. Ready.
They'll throw. Third and long. Got his man. This is McMillan. And he's close, but they say he did not get there. It's going to be fourth and maybe a yard.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Ready, ready. 45. Watch out now. 52. Ready.
They're going for it. Young. He finds him beyond the marker. And a great play is brought to an end as this one reaches the 35-yard line. They come through massive gain there on fourth down, give them 24 yards, and most importantly, that first down. All set to go now from the 35.
Here we go, set. 53. Set.
Off the play fake, it's Young. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit. Kate, you got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
Yellow.
On 2nd and 10, Young has him on the quick hitter. And he's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 on the other side, Brock. We've reached our 2-minute warning. More coming up from Bank of America Stadium, though. Stick around. Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10.
Let's go now. Blue, 32. Drill, 52. Red, yellow. Hut.
Shotgun snap now to Young. And this one's not going to connect. Knocked away, and that failure to connect, Brock, means it's 3rd down.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
Hut, hut.
On 3rd down, it's Young. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers get some late points and the lead. So, Brock, good work there to finish off the drive in the end zone and retake the lead.
You just get this feeling every once in a while in games, this sucker's going to be a back-and-forth football game. So what a great job offensively to jump out in front here in the first half of play.
Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. Turpin with a return. And he's brought down just inside the 25. Cowboys just about set. Here comes 1st and 10.
Here we go, boys. We go 46. 26.
First down, here's Dak. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. George Pickens, the intended target. So that brings up 2nd down. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch. But then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate. than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus is coming his way.
He gets 16 yards on that play. That'll be good for a Dallas first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
This one caught by C.D. Lamb. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. Offense is set. First and 10.
First down, Cowboys.
Dak throwing again. And he's just going to huck this one into about row C there. And some lucky fan going to haul in a heck of a souvenir.
Okay, I got to believe he harkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
Throwing again is Dak. Short pass brought in. He's still going at the 30. Streaks away from one. And they're going to bring him down as he makes it all the way to the 12. Give him 37 on the play. And that's good for a Dallas first down.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
Williams now on first and 10. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
Some offenses, well, they prefer to go run in that RPO situation. It's a safer call, a little more conservative. But in this case, it gets him just as many yards as a short completion would have.
Timeout called by the offense, and with another timeout available, they could actually get another 2 plays if they work quick. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Dak now from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. All right, timeout taken by the offense. 5 seconds left, and they can take some points into the locker room on this final play of the half. Defense looking to defend the marker on 3rd down.
Yeah! There we go, boy!
Here he goes, 3rd and long. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys take a lead on the final play of the half. George Pickens the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. For the point after, here's Aubrey. And his kick is good. What an ending to our opening half as they take the lead. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment.
Brandon Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our second half. He's got a lane up past the 30. And they finally bring him down after a huge run back into their territory.
Well, their attempt to attack that deficit, it's begun in earnest, like with a capital E. What an immediate sense of urgency they created by that stellar return. This drive has begun must score for this offense. I think we all felt that way. And they sure set the tone coming out of halftime with that kick return.
It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
That is not the way they needed to come out of the locker room here to begin the second half. Trailing, you got to play with a sense of urgency. You got to protect your quarterback, and they didn't either.
Let's go now. Hut.
Young working from the gun. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. Looking for his wide receiver there. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
Really had to find a way to get that short completion because now you're staring at 3rd and extra long, and that's a place no QB in this league wants to be.
22, blue striker. Claws red. 6, Madden. Set cut.
3rd and long, Young. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Oof, best of luck here, guys. It's 4th and pretty far.
Set. Grill green. Blue 32. Black shock. Fury, yellow. Set.
Looking to throw. Throws a bullet down the left sideline. And they don't get the catch they need there. Their hand was forced, Brock. Had to try and go for it, but they turn it over on downs.
It's a turnover on downs.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out. How about a big hitter? 30, 40 yards there and a new set of downs.
Here we go. 26.
Straight ahead with Williams. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Tackled on that play by Isaiah Simmons.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, the casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Prescott here from the gun. Buys time, rolling right. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
Well, he went for it all right there. That was a highlight reel waiting to happen if he could connect. So good to get out of the pocket and keep the play alive, but even better defensively to force the incompletion.
He's got it, complete to Pickett. And he will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
From the red zone on 1st. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. And it's step 1 towards a goal line stand. Still going to need a couple more, though. 2nd and goal coming up.
1st and goal from the 1. From the 1. I don't mind throwing it, but that's the one thing you can't have happen. Defensively, you know they're going to bring it. And now, well, they're more than content backing this offense up with the sack.
Needing 10 yards now as they line up. It's 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Here we go. 27.
Give to Williams from the gun. And he gets them a little closer to the end zone, down to the 6. Give him a few that time, but they'll need twice that to find the end zone here on 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Yeah, here we go. I think.
Tight end going in motion here. Has it in close. And that's a gain of 5, enough to put him in a spot where they might actually consider going for this now.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Leaving the offense out there. It's 4th and goal from the 1. Man in motion here. He'll throw it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys push their lead further to start the half. George Pickens the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. Pressure gets there, right side. It's blocked. And the Panthers grab it.
You know, it really does, Kate. When you see that point blocked, it just deflates. You feel like the whole sideline gets deflated, but I'll tell you what else it does. It puts a little seed of doubt and thought into your kicker and your special teams, and you hate that. You really do. You want those guys playing with as much confidence as your offense and defense is, so making sure you get your kicker right and that special teams unit right, that's going to be hugely important here down the road.
And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Carolina offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Yellow, 43.
Now Young. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
All right, Leggett makes the ground. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Young. That's McMillan with the catch out left. And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield strike. Moving quickly, trying to get set.
And the Panthers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Chop, 17. Set.
Running with Hubbard out of the gun. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw, Young. Finds him on the crossing route. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's going to bring up a Carolina 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard
Go
line.
now.
Young looking to throw. Tremble with the grab. And they take him down just as he gets inside that red zone. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Ready.
Here's Hubbard on the give. And they're going to have 1st and goal after he picked up a nice chunk there. Offense to the line fast.
That's another Panthers 1st down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
1st down, and they go right back to it. Well, so much for finishing things on the ground, Don. He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on 2nd and goal.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
We'll see them tackle 2nd and goal after the break. It's the Panthers who have it to start, coming in trailing on the scoreboard.
Ready, break.
Line of scrimmage once again, that 7-yard line as they get set, 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Set, go.
Back to throw, here's Young. Brought in, and just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
The defenders, they were ready for that throw, stopping him right at the line of scrimmage.
Big play coming up here as everyone gets set for 3rd and goal.
Set, hut. Yellow, 22. Ready.
Young throwing here. Intercepted in the end zone. Deron Bland has it.
Well, they're in danger going back to somebody who's already done damage in this game. He makes himself, well, he's a top target, but he makes himself a priority for this defense to defend, and they jumped on that opportunity.
Dallas getting everybody set. They've got 1st and 10. A handoff for Williams, running left. Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. From the gun is Prescott. Chased out to his right. Moving right, airs it out down the sideline. Well, a little bit of big completion, Brock, if not for that meddling defender who knocked it away. And that sets up 3rd down.
A small little jab there, finally landed by the defense. Able to break up one of these passes, but let's be real. We know who's been landing the heavy punches all game long. Looks like they're going to keep being aggressive too, Kate. I love that. Stay on the gas.
Into the hands of Pickett. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. It's a 29-yard gain. And that'll be good for a Dallas 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
He rolls to his right. Wow, wide open here, complete. And into the end zone he goes for a Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead.
Every touchdown's got its own story, but for me, Kate, that one's all about courage. Courage of that receiver to run all the way across the field. Courage of the quarterback to know it's going to take a little extra time. That courage paid dividends for 6.
That one right down the middle. And the Cowboys take a 3-possession lead.
17. Brandon Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. Baker with the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Okay, break.
First call here coming from the shotgun.
Watch it. Stay. Here we go. Back. Cut.
Back to work after throwing the pick. And he's not going to escape this. The Cowboys take him down. And after one play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for 2nd down.
2nd and 21 at the 14-yard line.
Shotgun snap now to Young. And he'll put everything he's got behind it. They connect on the deep shot. And finally, they get to him and send him out as this gets all the way into enemy territory. Following that last play, want to keep that pedal down. 1st and 10 from the 45. Taking a chance to the end zone. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. Savon Revel with the pick. And the Cowboys have it as he records the first interception of his young career.
You knew before this drive started the field goal was not going to be good enough, but that meant the coverage also knew how to play it, how to concentrate, how to focus, and those defenders, they influenced that throw, and even more so, took it away.
And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
That's the kind of yardage it's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. 1 yard on the run, so just 3 yards across those last 2 carries. It's 3rd and 7. 3rd and long, I'm going to throw. And they can't connect on the 3rd down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got 4th down. Dallas sends its punting unit onto the field. They needed 3 punts out of him in last week's loss as he sends this away. And that's going to pin them as deep as it can go. They're going to be set up inside their own 5-yard line. Panthers look just about ready. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Yeah, 43 rail. Black Ultra. Spike, white. Ready.
On his own end zone, it's Young. Has him on the quick hitter. And the stop will be made as he gets this up to about the 18. Working quickly here.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for a Panthers first down.
It's Young. The throw here on first. Cowboys closing in, and they get to him. And that is 5 sacks for this defense in this game as their latest brings up second down.
At the 8-yard line.
Down, ready.
Here's Young to throw. Escapes the pocket. Oh, no, they get him yet again. And the Cowboys will take over as he records his first interception of our season. So first and 10 now from the 30. They're going to pass it here. Rolling out to his left. Looking to his fullback now. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22.
As soon as he starts to escape, Kate, you can almost see that gunslinger mentality come to life. It takes really perfect defense to hold up and keep him from finding something that'll go get that first down. They couldn't do it right there.
Oh, he lost the football. Picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to take possession of the football. They're going to do it deep on their own side of the field.
You know, we could go down on that field and ask any player about the first lessons they learned in the game of football, and almost every one of them, Kate's going to say the same thing. Ball security. I bet he could even hear his old high school coach's voice in his ears right now, telling him next time, you got to hang on to it better.
And the downfield call is going to go unanswered. Defender saw to that. That incompletion means it's second down.
Javon Holland there on the coverage.
Smash, red. Ready. Black, 90, needle blue. Set, huh?
Young working from the gun. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Marquise Bell making the play. And forget the turnover, Brock. They take it back for a late touchdown. For the point after, here's Aubrey.
The kicker on for the extra point.
Extra point set right down the middle. And the Cowboys make it a 24-point ball game.
Panthers 17. Brendan Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Baker with the return. He stopped on the run back at the 27.
Jimmy Horn Jr. return. The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Carolina offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
Ready. Blue, 32. Set.
Young back to it after the pick. Trying to push deep downfield. Big shot is hauled in. Good rebounds. Oh, what a play. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset. Trying to set this up quick.
Panthers first down. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Ready.
From the red zone now. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers making the scoreboard look a touch better. Here's Young to the line now. His guys going for two.
The Panthers will line up for the 2-point.
All right, they're going to throw for it. And the conversion is no good as that pass falls incomplete.
I've heard great receiver coaches say, watch your fingers wrap around the ball. You know, it's pretty clear he should have had that one, and he didn't get the job done. The 2 points, well, they're left on the table.
He'll take this at the 10. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Cowboys just about set. Here comes first and 10.
Handoff goes to Williams, running right. And he is stopped as he reaches that 46-yard line. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And that's good for a Dallas first down.
Run like that, King, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know you can set the table for more.
Another run for Williams. And he takes it across midfield and into Panthers territory. So the